If you're a B2B founder, this video is for you, because in this video I'm going to be talking about a system that actually helped one of my clients generate over $36,000 within a time frame of just 34 days. So yeah, let's just start with the very first thing. So what we did and went ahead is just diagnose the problems that he had in his profile, and then we created an insight of what are the things that needed to be fixed, and the exact system that we followed over the time frame of 34 days that generated him over $36,000 within a time frame of just 34 days, right? So yeah, and then we are going to be talking about why this exactly worked for him and for his use case. And let me be clear, this is not a guarantee video that okay, you implement the system and you're going to be actually getting the same result for your profile. This can be very different for your profile. You might be having a problem with your offer, and this system might not work for you because you really have a bad offer, and no matter how good you market it, you're not going to sell. So yeah, this is just a case study of a client that we had before, and he was having a problem with his positioning. So yeah, let's just start with the very first thing. So the very first thing that we did is that diagnose the problems that he had in his profile already. So he was having the expertise, but he was having very low visibility on his profile, and that's just the rookie step, because if you don't get eyeballs, you're not gonna be having enough data to actually see where the problem is. So yeah, he had a really good offer but very low trust in his uh, LinkedIn, because he was not posting content enough, or he was not reflecting his expertise enough on his LinkedIn profile. That was leading him to having less credibility and less trust, right? And then he was quite active on LinkedIn but very low conversions, because he was just randomly commenting on some random post with no real direction and intention. Alright, so the knowledge was actually trapped in his brain, and he was just not putting himself out there. He was just posting some random congratulations or some kind of random posts that were not getting him the right audience that he needed for his profile, right? And ideas were just trapped in his head. So what we actually did after that, we did the diagnosis, and we came down to a conclusion that from this profile, we have to really make the ICP their problem aware, and we have to have a really clear point of view of how we are actually going to position him, right? And what direction do we have to actually take his person brand to. And then we are going to be having a proof of solution. So basically we posted some client results, case studies and everything, that okay, this client actually made a person go from stage 1 to stage 2 with his solution that his service provides, right? So yeah, those are the main steps. And let me be clear here, people don't actually buy because they just saw one of your posts that did well. They saw the consistency that you're posting content with, they see the clarity, and they see the results that you've gotten for other people as well. That builds the trust over time, right? So yeah, and let's talk about the exact content system that we followed to actually getting the results. So in the very first week, what we do is we have a 60-minute call, a strategy call, where we pull out your opinions, capture your stories, find objections that are there, and what are the problems that most of your ICP are facing, because there's no one other better person to actually tell us about your ICP and what are the problems that they are facing at this moment. So as you're running a business in that industry, you must be doing that. And you're going to be talking about your personal stories, business stories, any lesson that you must have come across, or any incident that you must have come across that is interesting enough to talk about in your content. We are going to be capturing that within this stage only. And then we go to the step 2, which is the thinking into angle stage. So basically we turn that all information that we captured in your voice, we are just going to capture and change that into content angles. So basically we are going to convert that into content pieces. So the way we are talking right now, okay, let's say we are having a call, we are talking normally, it's going to be very different from what we are actually going to put out on the social media, because it's going to be reframed obviously, and it's going to be very different, it's going to be positioned very differently. So yeah, and then we converted that into content angles. It had the pain based post. So basically we are gonna pinning the pain points that is there in your ICP and the problems that they are facing, and they can potentially solve that problem with your service. So it's a really engineered kind of way to actually put out content, so it actually makes them feel okay, this guy understands my problem, this guy also has a solution for it, and this guy is also giving free stuff. So basically I'm going to be talking about the authority building phase. So we really focus on this part because we give out free stuff as a form of lead gen to your ideal customer that actually builds the trust, because once they see that you're giving so much information for free, and you are doing it selflessly, they think that you have the actual expertise in your industry and in your business, that you can actually help them out if they pay you enough for your service, right? So there's gonna be case study posts as well, objection handling post, pain based study. So all of that we do, all the planning that goes in here, all the writing that goes in here, and after that we come on to actually creating the video script. So what is a bofu video script? So it's the bottom of the funnel video script. So it's basically made directly to talk to your ICP. It's not made to get views, it's not made to get you the eyeballs that you must be looking for, like 1 million views, 2 million views. That's not gonna get you the right eyeballs. But these kind of videos are gonna get you the actual customers. So let's say you get 500 views on your videos, but 500 of those 500 people are your actual customer, right? So that's gonna be really valuable for you. And they can actually understand the video better because they are in that niche and you are talking about their problem and the exact framework, and with the proofs that you can actually go ahead and solve their problem. So yeah, they just see your video, they see that you're an expert in your field. So there's a possibility that they can actually build that great amount of trust with those videos, rather than having a video that's getting you 1 million views but zero sales, because that's not that's not the direction that you're trying to go. You're trying to build cash, that you're trying to convert from the content that you're producing, right? So you're gonna be very intentional about it. So then we actually go ahead and produce the founder face video. So this is going to be the most interesting part of this video. So you don't really have to record a single video ever, while you can still build a strong personal brand with just 60 minutes a week. So 60 minutes, you just ideate with us, you give us the stories and everything, and you give us a 5-minute recording of yourself talking directly to the camera, and then we train an AI digital clone of yours that's exactly gonna that's look exactly like yours, face, that sound, and that's gonna sound exactly like you. That's gonna look and sound exactly like you, and that's gonna mimic the hand gestures as well that you do, right? So, and that's gonna be curated with strong hooks, clean editing, native LinkedIn style that works on the platform as of now. And then we publish those content with sale intent and the right distribution that we actually follow. So not only we do it on LinkedIn, we do it on YouTube as well, we do it on Instagram as well, we do it on X as well. So the whole distribution is managed on your behalf. And the exact system that we followed for our client, we were managing 4 of these platforms for him, and yeah, we were able to do it pretty well. And then we just nurture all the warm leads that are going to be there. So any comment that comes in, any profile visit that comes in, or any engagement that happens, we send them a DM, we try to have a conversation with them, we try to understand the problem, and anything and everything that can get us conversion from it. So every interaction matters because you are so specific about who you are targeting. So any viewer that comes onto your profile is most likely your ideal customer profile, because you're publishing content likewise, you're commenting likewise, you are actually going ahead and engaging with the right people. So that is gonna result into you getting those profile visits that are your ideal customers. So yeah, we engage with everything: profile visit, DM replies, warm leads, and having the sales calls. It's the most important thing, because they are gonna be pre-sold only once they have seen your content and they have built the trust in you. So it was really easy for him to close those discovery calls, because he was just really focused on giving out free value and the content that he was supposed to give. Okay, so now let's talk about the time frame and what it actually took in the 34 days time frame to actually close $36,000. So we, in the very first week, we fixed his positioning, clarified his offer, and talked about the pain points of his customers in the very first week. So we made sure that he's looking like an expert in his niche. We made sure that we have a clear offer so that his customers can understand it, and we made sure that it has risk reversal, it is a win-win offer for them as well. And yeah, we made sure that we talk about the pain points of the customer in that video itself. And in the next week, we launched the engine and we produced the first batch of videos. And let me be clear here, because he is not the one who has recorded a single video till now. and he's still able to launch a video campaign that's gonna publish like 7 8 videos a week. And that's just insane in this AI era, because you are gonna be sitting in your room and you can just publish videos as many as you want without moving a single finger, right? So then in the coming week, we, trust compounded, we did the warm we replied to all the we replied to all the warm DMs. We made sure that we engage with all the people that are visiting our profile. Then eventually, with the system was just so optimized, and it was, proven so many times for other, people or other people that we've done it for, that it was inevitable for him to not get results. He might not have got the results in 34 days. He might have got it in 45 days, maybe in 60 days, but he will eventually get the results with this process. So yeah, that's how we collected over $36,000 in 34 days. And yeah, the real conclusion that we came down to afterwards, that why exactly this system worked for him, is because we focused on real buyers problem, not some, common problems that they have, you know not gimmicking other people's post or generic post basically. And we made sure that the expertise, became visible daily, and that really helped us to get the profile visits. And that is really important, because not only if you're posting yourself daily with the right content and you're providing the right value every single day, you're gonna be having the right eyeballs anyway. So right, we handle objections before the sales call only. So as I talked about this before, they were pre-sold only, because we were engaging with them so many times before the call only, that they were already convinced that okay, they wanna buy into me, right? And then yeah, then we had a clear profile positioning, and then we moved attention to conversions, basically the same stuff that we did, having the conversation, then actually getting them onto a call, and then following a proper system to actually close them down. So yeah, if you're a B2B founder and you have the expertise, proof, and an offer, but the only bottleneck right now is visibility and trust, then I might be having a solution for you. So yeah, if you're looking forward me to, map down this exact system for your business as well, just drop me a DM or send me a WhatsApp message, and I'm going to do it for your business as well. Thank you for watching.